Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Gopal. I'm a German trauma therapist certified in TRE and NARM, and I also developed my own group trauma healing and transformation method that is called floating. So I'm doing a lot of work in Europe, especially of course Germany, Austria, Switzerland. And I would like to share my knowledge and my experience also with the English-speaking world. And in this video especially I would like to address one of the things I see in many clients struggling with symptoms and manifestations on the periphery of life, not understanding that the level and the layer where the problem or the actual source of the problem, the origin is, not understanding that on this level, on the level of how we deal with other people, is the root cause of all the problems. So, for example, I see people struggling with a lack of money, with depression, with fears, with constant conflicts with their partner, finding no partner at all, or divorce. All kinds of problems you can think of, from my perspective, have their origin in subconscious patterns in our mind, how we relate to others. And that means what we unconsciously believe what's happening if someone comes close to us. That sounds maybe complicated at the beginning if you hear that for the first time, but yeah, I'm here to explain that. And if you follow me and my explanations and my view that has developed over the last decades, I would say, then you may realize that your struggle on the surface is in vain, makes no sense, will never lead to a solution. Yeah. For example, if you deal with lack of money, yeah, and you try to solve that problem on the same level where the problem arises, that would mean you, for example, you try to improve your business, or you do some training, or you try to save more money, yeah. And this is working on the periphery, on the level of symptoms. So if you do that, you will see sooner or later that the problems with the money will not go away. Actually, they will increase, yeah, because lack of money is a symptom for something else, for something that has nothing to do with money. Yeah, this is the manifestation of a complete different problem. And when I say problem, I mean conflict. And with conflict, I mean something that is not resolved between you and others. And this has to do with developmental trauma. Yeah, it sounds strange at the beginning, almost unbelievable, but it is that what I see every day in my work. I work with so many clients and deeply traumatized people, or people who have just these kinds of problems apparently on the outside. I see everywhere the source of all the suffering and problems is always the same. And it is on the level of relationship patterns in our mind. And yeah, I would like to explain that in detail so that you can really find a solution for yourself. And if this is not possible, I'm happy to help you online also. I offer groups meetings in Zoom that are called Sunday with Gopal. and we meet there in groups for very few, for very few dollars. Let's say, I would say it's so, it's everyone can take part in it. It's very very cheap. 2 hours intensive work, trauma-based, and you can be there as a participant for just a few dollars, or you can book a real session and then I will directly work with you. And I can assure you that I will come in a few minutes to the core issue of your life. It doesn't take a long time, because all the problems we have, all the suffering can be reduced to, as I say, to the core of our subconscious ideas, how to relate, how people behave if we come close, and what you still subconsciously believe you can't share with someone else, and to realize that, to find that what keeps your life in bondage, let's say it like that, is almost impossible. It's necessary that you find someone who is outside of your mental prison to help you out of it. Because, I mean, if you are in that prison since childhood, you have never been out of it. So how can you understand it? How you can get the context and even leave the prison? It is almost impossible. But someone outside can clearly explain and describe your prison, and can explain where the door is, or actually helping you understand that this prison is no longer existing. So let's come to these two levels. We have the level of manifestation, where the problems arise, where the suffering seems to be. Again, some explanations. I'm suffering from loneliness, from conflicts with my partner, from lack of money, from finding no job, finding no partner, depression, fear, even physical illnesses, accidents, loss of close friends. Anything you can imagine is the level of outside manifestations. Also, mental problems like depression or fears or panic attacks or physical illnesses is outside, although it is closer, but it's still outside. It's outside from the perspective of your mind, So, and you don't have to understand the relationship between the original root cause of your suffering and the manifestation. This is maybe interesting for scientists, or it's not necessary. It is all much easier. It is much easier. And it also has nothing to do with spirituality. Many people try to solve these things by even going even further away. So they try to solve that on a spiritual level, by meditation, by energy work, by trying to have expanded experiences of consciousness and all kinds of things. But it's not working, because this is again a mixture of levels. Your eternal, infinite consciousness has no problems. And if you move there, or if you have experience of that, it's just you just switch the perspective, but the level where the problems are, where they come from, is still not resolved. It's like in a house. If you have a broken pipe in the ground floor, yes, you can take the elevator and go to the 7th floor and enjoy the sun. Yes, but the broken pipe in the ground level is still broken and creates problems. And so it's the same with us. This body mind system here tries to deal with developmental and attachment trauma. This is the physical world, yeah, this body and its nervous system and its and the mind. And there we have to find and dissolve the problem, because it's there. It's not on any non-personal energetic level, and it's not on the outside, on the physical level as well. Yeah. So let's make an example. Another example. For example, you say you have fear, or you suffer from fear. So what does that mean? You then may think if the fear goes away, you will be happy. Well, no, that's not the case, because the fear is not the problem. The fear is a manifestation of something completely different that has nothing to do with fear. Yeah, fear means you project danger. Because if in the body is fear and on the outside there's no real life threat, then where does the feeling of fear comes from? It must come from something else, from somewhere else, not from the outside. So the only option is from your own mind. So you create the fear because it's not triggered from the outside. Yeah, it's logical, it's obvious. You create it yourself. Otherwise you wouldn't have fear. So how do you create the fear? The fear is being created by projecting danger on other people. And that means that you subconsciously project that people who come close to you do something that would threaten you. And from the perspective of a child, that can be, for example, that they run away and abandon you. It can be that they would physically attack you. It could be that they ignore you or trying to manipulate you. These 4 categories of projection we have and we use to recreate all our suffering as a grown-up. So it's one of these 4 ideas you have. And these ideas are usually unconscious. So, for example, it may be that you subconsciously are absolutely convinced that if you come closer to someone, that this person would attack you. And of course, if you have that program in the mind, you will have fear, because that would mean a danger for the body, being attacked. Yeah. And now, if you try to get rid of the fear, well, it's not possible as long as you do not dissolve that idea. And how can you dissolve this basic idea? It can only be dissolved by an actual contact, because these projections create a distance. Yeah, you avoid the full contact to other people because you project that something happens, something dangerous will happen if you come closer. If you have a full exchange with others, then this would happen. So you keep a distance. And the problem with that is, yeah, it protected you in your childhood, but today it distorts your relationships to others and to yourself. Yeah, and this distance is like a void, and this void is filled with projections from childhood. So it's a vicious circle. And to break this circle, you have to get in contact, because only in contact you can find out, or your nervous system or your subconscious can realize if it is really as dangerous as you believe, as dangerous as in the childhood. And how do you get in contact? Well, the only way is to communicate this idea, because this is in the front. This is the core of your of that what's there. yeah, in relation to others. So the first thing you have to do is, of course, in safe environments with friends, with close friends or therapists, to share this idea you have. Yeah, and maybe it takes some time to find out what you believe. So for that example, you can share that idea. For example, my head thinks that if we come closer, you would attack me. And by sharing that, your taboo, it's a taboo, it's a shame, it's connected with shame, yeah, but if you dare to share that, then something starts to move. And it's not so relevant at that point how the others react. The main point is that you start sharing this core idea you have. So for example, as I said, my head thinks that you would attack me if we come closer. Or my head thinks that you would run away if we come closer. Or you would ignore me. Or you would manipulate me, or trying to manipulate me. And then you can ask if that is true. Ask if it's true. Is that true? And then you get an answer. And your nervous system needs that answer. Yeah, it needs that answer because since childhood, this question is not answered. Because you avoid to ask the question and to be aware of the idea you have. So it remains in the subconscious and is distorting your whole life. But as soon as you have found your core idea about life and start sharing it, then it is on the table and you bring it in contact. And then new information come from the outside. Yeah. And slowly this idea gets overwritten because not everyone will attack you if you come closer. This is just nonsense. Yeah, it's the experience of it. It's one of the experiences in childhood, but it's not the reality today. But your nervous system understands that only if it gets really information about that. So dare to ask these questions. And as soon as you start that process, maybe on your own with honest sharing, as I have published it, the self-help method, or in floating my trauma work with my help, doesn't matter. The point is to get in full contact, in full exchange with others. So, and if you are able to do that, then you realize that a strong energy is flowing through your system, through your body, through your emotions, through your mind. You really wake up from your childhood trauma. It's really like a wake up. Really, it feels like that. My God, I've never really looked outside what's there really. I've dreamt, yeah. I've lived in my mind without knowing it. Yeah, and then life starts as soon as you have created so much contact that this basic idea is being overwritten, or that you are able to connect to reality, to people how they are. Yeah, then your life starts, and then you will feel completely different, and you will see that you will no longer need symptoms, and it's not so relevant if the symptoms disappear or not. You will see that the suffering is over, and maybe the symptoms even disappear because they don't get energy anymore. You don't need the symptom anymore as a substitute for contact, as an indirect communication of your core attachment, conflict and trauma. Yeah, this is a big thing. And it's important that more and more people understand that and dare to look at it. What is the real thing that I believe is happening between me and others if we come closer. This is the main thing, the focus, where everything, every problem, every suffering is condensed and is manifested at that point. So I could say it in a different way. Every symptom you have in life on the periphery has its counterpart on the relational level, yeah, because as long as these programs are active in your mind, you create problems with others, problems in your relationships. So the first thing may be to admit that it's not about your money problem, but about that you also have a problem with relating, that something is not really working on the relational level. And then you look deeper and look what you believe, what the other is doing, will do if you come closer. Yeah, it has to be repeated again and again, because the protecting mechanism in us doesn't want that, what I'm talking about here. It will try to distract you and bring you away from that. But with the understanding, yeah, of this video, hopefully, you can look at that and precisely go to the core of the problems and solve them. So yeah, this is my message. This is my work here in Europe. And again, if you like to have support, join us at Sunday with Gopal. The Zoom event you can watch if you just want to watch for the first time, or stay anonymously in the background, no problem. You can see me working with people, and then you see what's happening. And something is happening. It is obvious. You can see it. Yeah. I help people to bring your energy back to that level of relating, and then finding these ideas and bringing light into all that. And then you see the reaction in the people. You see that something very deep is happening, and it doesn't need years of therapy. It's about this moment, finding your thoughts and bringing them in contact. But not just any thoughts, the thoughts you have about others. Again, for the last time in this video, what you believe, what you are convinced of that people do, that someone else is doing. If you come closer, this is the point.